Dear students, I am Professor Asim Zafar and I welcome all of you in the course titled Fundamentals of Information Technology. This is a 2-credit course, and in this course we will be discussing the fundamental aspects of computers and related technologies. The objective of this course is to understand the fundamentals of computing and IT, to learn basics of networking and internet technologies, to understand basics of computer maintenance and troubleshooting, and to learn basics of cyber security and safer online practices. Course outcome means what are the skills which are supposed to be developed in the students once the student finish this course. So the students will be able to explain or to understand the computer system configuration, about the hardware, about the software, office automation applications. The student will be able to explain the etiquettes of ICT, especially using emails, internet, blogs, and web resource uses. The student will be able to maintain computing devices along with the softwares which are installed in that computer in a proper way. And the student will be able to explore the uses of national digital resources for academic excellence and act responsibly for safer online services. So these are the objectives and outcomes of the course. What are the topics which we plan to discuss in this course? So just I am going to give you an overview of all these topics. So first of all, in the first part, basically, we will have an introductory part where we will be discussing what is a computer, what are the characteristics of computer, what are various applications of computer and IT, what is the evolution of computer system. Means we will be discussing the past, present and future of IT. We will be discussing basic components of the computer like processing unit, keyboard, mouse, visual display unit and other input and output devices. After that, we will have a detailed look on what are the various types of computer memories. After that, we will have a discussion on the concept of hardware and software. We will see what are the hardware, what do we mean by software, what are the various kinds of software like system software, application software, programming languages, how we can represent the data and information in computer. So we will have a discussion on all these topics. After that, we will see how we can process the data. That is, the concept of data processing will be discussed. And after that, we will be having a detailed discussion on various utilities and application softwares and like office suites, spreadsheets, etc. So in the very first part, we will be discussing the basics of the computer systems and related system and application programs or applications which are available to us. In the next part, we will be discussing something about computer networks. As all of you know that nowadays we are living in a global village. So our computers are not working in isolation, but they are part of the computer network. The moment you connect your computer to the internet, it becomes part of the global village or global computer network, I mean to say. So in that scenario, it becomes essential for ourselves to know about something about the computer networks. So we will start our discussion about the basics of computer network, and we will be discussing what are the personal area network, means PAN, what are the LAN, what is the campus area network, what do we mean by metropolitan area network, wide area networks, what are the various technologies like Wi-Fi, broadband, Bluetooth, and we will have a discussion on all these things in the very first part of this course. Next, we will be discussing something related to internet. What is the concept of internet? What is the applications of internet? How we can connect our computer to the internet? And if something goes wrong, how we can troubleshoot the problem. So that will be the part of discussion in the next part. After that, we will be discussing something about World Wide Net, WWW, and after that we will be discussing TCP/IP. That is a famous protocol suite which is being followed in the internet. And we will be having a discussion on domain name system, various search engine, what are the key web browser features. After that, we will be discussing various kinds of network devices which are used for connecting our system and connecting our computer to the internet, like switches, routers, gateways, etc. After that, we will be having a discussion on various applications of internet like email, information gathering, retailing, etc. After knowing all these things, we will have a discussion how we can connect our computer to the internet, and for that we need services of internet service provider. So during that discussion, we will see how we can have a dial-up connection, ISDN connection, and broadband connections. And in the process, we'll be discussing very briefly the internet addressing schemes, and we will see what are the various ways where we can assign addresses to our computer like MAC, IP addresses, subnetting addresses, etc. We will also have a brief discussion of internet protocols. Various protocols are being followed while we are transmitting our data from one place to another place in the internet. Like we will be having a discussion, a very brief discussion, what are the protocol suites of TCP/IP. We will have a separate discussion on file transfer protocols and hypertext transfer protocols. During the discussion, we will try to understand various terminologies like ISP, URL, hyperlink, instant messaging, and collaborations. After that, all of you might be using the Facebook, Twitters, and vlogs, etc. So we will see a very brief discussion of these features or applications as well. At the end, we will be having some discussions on IP version 4 and IP version 6, which are basically ways or protocol suites for having internet communications. Basically, two protocols mainly are there. So right now we are in the IP version 4. You are using IP version 4. We are in the process of, you can say, going to IP version 6 network. So parallelly, these two things are being implemented, and we will see the differences between IPv version 4 and IPv version 6 networks, I mean to say. And at the end, we will have some network troubleshooting tips and techniques. After that, once you know about the computer network, we will have a discussion on how to make our computer system more secure from any external attacks or from any attack of from any unauthorized persons. So that under this heading, basically, we will be discussing computer maintenance and security, overview of computer maintenance, and security, about the security, inbuilt PC security tools. Next, we will be discussing how we can install and upgrade operating system and application software, how we can install device drivers, how we can make our documents more secure, how we can install antivirus to protect our computer systems from any virus attacks, how we can clean our monitor, keyboard, CPU, how we can delete unnecessary programs and files, I mean to say disk cleanup, deleting toolbars, defragmentation and hard drives, etc. So we will see a lot of diagnostic program as well. DS diagnostic, whenever these programs are being executed, they can tell you what is the problem in the system. So that these are the basic troubleshooting tools basically. And we will have a brief discussion on how to start your computer in safe mode, how we can uninstall a software which is unnecessarily being installed in our computer. We can check how we can check our cables, and how we can protect our computer system as a whole from any external threats. So these are the topics which we will be discussing in the third part basically. In the last section, we will try to discuss about cyber security. When the data is in transit, being transmitted from one place to another place, the data is very vulnerable. So how to make all these transactions more secure, and how we can keep our transactions more secure from any external attack or threat. That will be the part of discussion in the last section, that is under the heading of cyber security. So we will try to learn the concepts of cyber security. What do we mean by data security and privacy? We will be discussing how to create strong passwords to keep our systems more secure, how we can identify secure websites, and we will be discussing something how to keep ourselves more secure from external threats like viruses, worms, Trojan horses, spyware, cookies, etc. And we will be having a discussion on malware, netgates, and how to make our PCs more secure, and how we can make mobile phones for more secure, on how we can make our handheld devices more secure. So that will be the part of discussion of this part basically, or this component. We will also learn how to avoid phishing attacks. We will be discussing something about digital payment suraksha, cyber hygiene concepts, online education resources like OER, National Digital Library, and SWAM platforms. And apart from that, there are spoken tutorials, open courseware tools, virtual labs, etc. So we learn all these resources, open educational resources basically, which are very useful for our learning purposes. So that we will have a discussion on that. With this basically, we will finish our course during at the end of 8-week discussion. As far as the weekly course plan is concerned, in the first week, basically, we plan to discuss with you the introduction of computers and IT, history and evolution of computer system, and we will be discussing something about computer programs, softwares, hardwares, and firmwares, and we will be having a detailed discussion on operating systems and their type, and computer memories and their classifications. So that will be the part of discussion of our first week lecture. During the second week, we will be focusing on data representation and processing, software programming languages, software utilities and user interfaces, important software packages, and we will be discussing some spreadsheets and data visualization technique in the second week. In the third week, we plan to discuss with you about the computer networks, its applications and troubleshooting. We will be having a brief look on several network protocols like TCP/IP, FTP, SMTP, and we will be having some discussion on WWW, DNS and internet concepts. After that, we will be having a brief look on transmission media and network devices, and we will also discuss how we can connect our computer to internet. In the fourth week, we will be discussing with you various addressing scheme that is known as internet addressing. I'll be discussing with you IPv4 and IPv6 networks. Next, we will be discussing internet protocols and ISP, Internet Service Provider. So these will be the discussion, related discussion on week 4. In week 5, we will be discussing with you instant messaging and collaboration tool, various social networking applications, and concepts of blog, vlog, and posts, and network troubleshooting. So these will be the part of week 5 discussion. During week 6, we will be focusing on computer maintenance and security, device drivers and antivirus, disk cleanup utilities, computer diagnostic programs, and fragmentation and compaction. So these are the tools which will be discussed during the 6th week. In the 7th week, we will be focusing on cyber security and various kinds of attacks, how we can save our computer and our transactions with these cyber attacks. That will be main part of the discussion during 7th week. Various security attacks or threats. We will have an introduction of virus and malwares, concept of cyber hygiene. Next, we will be discussing cyber bullying and etiquettes, and we will be focusing on PC, mobile, and other PDA's security. In the 8th week, we will be focusing on online education resources, basically e-resources that are available for enhancing our knowledge and skills doing by self-learning or self-learning methods. So in that series, we will be seeing various OER, and very important OER is there, a spoken tutorial developed by IIT Bombay, and then we do have the concept of virtual lab that is developed by a consortium of various organizations, where we can perform labs in the virtual mode, various labs in the virtual mode, chemical lab, physics lab, biology lab. We can conduct all these things, and we will be discussing concepts like SWAM. Very important platform is there, where a lot of courses are uploaded. The students can go and register there and learn free of cost from these resources. And at the end, we will be discussing recent trends and IT. So what are the recent trends in information technology? That with this, basically, we will finish our course during the last week, or 8th week, I mean to say. Students, as all of you know that we will be having weekly tests after the end of every week. So in 8-week course, we will be having 8 weekly tests, and after that, final exam, that is a proctored exam, will be conducted at the designated center, and for which you will have to register yourself for the examination, and you will get the hall ticket and every details over there related to your examination center. You will have to appear over there, and you will have to appear in the final examination. Once you pass by securing 40% marks individually in the weekly test as well as in the final examination, you will be awarded a certificate that you have passed this course, Fundamental of Information Technology, of 2 credit from SWIM. So this is the process of certification. I hope the course content and the process is clear to all of you. Thank you.